are people, as you said, the people have many guides. Are people guided by what we would term as spirits or deceased people, human beings?
Yes and no. There are some who are guides who have had an incarnation on the physical realm. There are. However, many individuals who once had a physical body, lived in on a physical realm, do reincarnate into another physical body on another physical realm. Many. But there are some that do guide those on the physical realm and no longer incarnate, have completed their incarnation cycle.
And now, are we from the physical able to contact, I don't know, I guess non-linearly or non-temporally someone who was deceased at one point, even though they may have incarnated into a new physical body?
Yes. When a physical body ceases to be physical, when the physical body dies, deteriorates, is destroyed, there is a process that energy goes through and experiences. And that experience, that process happens when that process is occurring, when that experience is happening. A channel or a physical, like Sherry, is able to contact or align her vibration with that energy that is going through this process and is able to communicate, as she is I, channel that energy. Now, when the process is completed, whether that energy incarnates into another physical body on another physical plane of existence, not necessarily the earth plane as you know it. It could be here on the earth plane that you know of. It could be another physical plane. There is still an energy that is able to connect with other physical beings on other physical planes or on the same plane that entity now resides on. For you are all energy. You are all connected to each other and are able to interact, especially if the physical body is in a stasis.
Now, is this, I mean, in the case of somebody who would have been either a relative of a person or someone famous where a lot of people knew them, does that knowledge that everyone has of that person or relative, does that give them a greater ability to connect to that energy that may be incarnated somewhere else?
Yes. You've also, when you have multiple people, humans, who are adding their personal thought vibrations to an energy, whether that energy is in a physical being or not, you are giving this entity, this energy, power to live in now what you would label a thought form separate from the physical energy and the non-physical energy that resides within that physical vessel. It is attached to that personality, but is also separate from that because other physical beings and non-physical beings have given this energy characteristics that may be accurate, but may be an exaggeration from the original personality.
Now, would this affect the new personality if there is a large, heavily focused thought form from its previous incarnation?
It'll affect the perception of those who perceive this energy. But if this energy does not allow and is not allowing of this perception, then it will not affect that energy. But if this energy, this personality allows that, then they are going to have an effect of that.
Now, these thought forms, these connections, do they also go in that, work off that same, that I guess concept is called like a soul group or something, where people who have incarnated together or are very similar to each other? Wow, mentally it's getting more complex than I can focus on. I don't even know how to phrase it.
If you are asking that this thought form that is connected to this personality that has reincarnated on a physical plane, if that personality, that thought form, and all these other individuals that have fed this thought form are now considered a soul group because of the energetic connections and ties that they have created, it is possible, but is not always necessary.
Now, do these thought forms, I mean, they're often obviously manifested in the physical. You know, they have, some of these people have physical remnants, you know, pictures or recordings and things like that. Does this connection to the thought form for each individual, does that sort of keep them from higher vibrations or tie them more to the physical?
The thought form itself?
Well, I guess
or the individuals who are feeding the thought form?
The individuals who are feeding the thought form, are they, by feeding the thought form, are they, I don't know, stunting their own movement?
Expansion?
Yeah, expansion. Thank you.
It can, just as I explained earlier, that some activities or some likes or desires or things that individuals spend their energy on can help them or expand or hinder them from expanding. This is the same concept, the same idea. If an individual in the physical realm on Earth has they resonate with an energy of a personality that has died and reincarnated, and this attachment that they have, they feed this desire or this personality, and that can hinder them. Mm-hmm. But if they have this, they resonate with this personality and they find inspiration and they find motivation and they find that this personality inspires them to create, then that has actually helped with their expansion. It's when things, ideas, concepts become more than an experience, it becomes an obsession, it becomes an addiction, it becomes something that they feel that they have to have. It's when it becomes a hindrance and it anchors them to where they are and will stunt their expansion or stunt their growth.
The concept of they essentially start to identify with that as part of their being when it's not part of their larger being.
It will eventually become part of their being. They will have allowed this energy to become part of them, because, as you have pointed out, they've identified with this now. Now, sometimes that can be a positive thing and it can help the expansion, as I've said, and sometimes it can stunt them and hinder their expansion.
And I suppose because all beings are expansive, to focus so completely on one thing would narrow, basically like squeezing a whole bunch of something into a tiny bottle. It's cramming it into a smaller area than it would more freely exist otherwise.
Exactly.